Okay, greetings to all. So today I'll be presenting my research paper that I'm currently undertaking, which is Trendjacking in Malaysia. Not every brand can tickle. It is a critical view on long-term trendjacking effects on humanizing brands. I'm the author and researcher, and my name is Cindy from Malaysia. So let's begin. So before we understand what trend checking is, I just wanted to share with all of you some of the trends in Malaysia and also around the world. So the first trend it's in Malaysia that happened recently was this hashtag I am not a robot, catching the robot flu. As we know, we are going through this pandemic period, and the government is offering AstraZeneca, and some of Malaysians who are interested to register for this vaccine, we are told to register online. However, that day, when the registration was opened, I think the system was overwhelmed by how many people who was on online. So a lot of Malaysians who wish to register was frustrated because of we wouldn't be able what we weren't able to register and click on things, and the system one of the system they kept on asking if we are to confirm that we are not a robot. So because of that, a lot of Malaysians were frustrated, and this became a trend. Everybody, whole of Malaysia, basically was talking on their social media, sharing on WhatsApp, and so on. So therefore, there is this hashtag "I'm not a robot" created because yeah, we are very much familiar with this. Whenever we register for something, wherever we sign up for something, we are asked to verify that we are not a robot. So a lot of Malaysians are saying yes, we are not a robot. So even on brands, when you look at brands, they are very quick. They're very quick to pick up all these trends. So one of the brands that stands out significantly these days is GSC, Golden Screen Cinema. So this is what they posted on their Facebook. So Malaysians' problem today, because we were supposed to choose our states, and then we were supposed to identify all these images to show that we are not a robot. So their caption says stress intensify. So indeed, Malaysians were very stressed out, and the stress was intensified. So they posted something like this, and of course, a lot of Malaysians can relate to their posts. So this is something that brands are doing to gain attention as well. Okay. So trend number two that I wanted to share is on it happened on the same day during the first trend that happened. It is riding the wave of McDonald's BTS meal. So I think by now all of us would know this McDonald's BTS meal by McDonald's. Okay, featuring or inspired by this South Korean popular boy band BTS. So they are very very famous, and hence obviously a lot of people are talking on social media on that day. Why don't we just go and try it out? And what is so special and different about this meal, you know? And even an artist in Singapore, he collected the paper bag and also the paper boxes from this BTS meal and made it into a shoe. So it is that huge, it is that big. So everyone is talking about this particular trend. So the BTS meal and featuring this meal. So this is trending. So how does brand comes in again? How does brand hijack again? Very interestingly, aside from these examples, but I'll talk on these examples first. First of all, is on Twitter. Hell's Kitchen said when McDonald's posted this, so they jumped on it, they hijacked it as well. Forgive me, chef. Casually marks calendar for May 26th, and then even Waze came in. Will drive to respond to this launch. And Hot Wheels as well will be hitting the drive-through, and Barbie. Even Barbie came in as a brand. Can't wait. There's a heart shape emoji. So basically, besides this hijack or response by brand, we also saw some brands using the acronym of BTS to also relate back to their product. To ride on this wave where everyone is talking about BTS. So this is how brands are doing. And the third trend that I want to share is the unforgettable Bernie Sanders meme. This is also very much highly talked about. It went trending not only in US and in different countries, Scandinavian countries, even in Malaysia, it was trending. So what happened was that a photo of Bernie Sanders attending the inauguration of Joe Biden, which saw him seated at his chair because everyone was just yeah, and he was wearing a mask and a pair of a glove. So he was pictured that, and of course the media posted it and everyone shared it and it went viral. It is a very cute looking photo. So what happened in with brands even in Southeast Asia, they trendjack Bernie Sanders meme on social media. So what happened with brands is that brands like these, they just use his images and hijack it and relate it back and say something about it in their social media platform pages. So even brands like IKEA. So you can see here they took the opportunity and promote their product here with Bernie Sanders. So it's a very relatable hot topic that people talk about. When you see that, you straight away your focus and your attention will be like, hey, that's very funny, that's very cute. They took opportunity to just play around with the image, and that is hijacking, that is trendjacking. Okay, so a lot of comments, as you can see. A lot of my personal response was like, wow, okay, they turn that into something that is him in another situation, but yet it's still him. It's very funny, it tickles our emotions. So that was what Brent did with his meme. The fourth trend that I would like to share is on Trump. How can we ever forget Trump? Trump, during his time as the president in US, he was basically everyone's topic. Every day there's something new about him that people talk about him, media highlighted about him, netizens talk and highlighted about him. He's basically the trend. So regardless of the season, regardless of the time, he's just basically always trending. So of course brands are also jumping on it and hijacking it, using him as one of the, yeah. So if you can see here again, IKEA is somehow related, weapon of mass construction, and then Gap is the one thing we know is that together this is just examples of how they brands relate to political scenarios and so on. And even this one, for entrances and unexpected exits when Trump exited as the president. So this is what they did. Okay. So this is a very timely thing that brands are very aware of what's going on, and they took on the opportunity. It's basically now or never when they do this thing. So, in a nutshell, after I showed you all the trends that took place, whether in Malaysia or around the world, what I'm trying to share here is on trendjacking. Trendjacking, this term is not really new. Previously, they also used the term newsjacking. So it's either news checking or trend checking. So in a nutshell, it means that it is the in the area of branding and advertising. Trend checking is ideally used in the awareness or the attention stage of the consumer's journey to convert a stranger or someone new into consumers in reference to the AIDA framework model. So yeah, so in other words, if you refer to the AIDA model, right? There is awareness, stage, interest, desire, and action. So where does trend jacking comes in? And it comes in ideally in the awareness stage. Awareness stage, because if you look at those trends that I showed just now and how brands come in and jump in, it is basically very effective in the awareness stage, where it captures the attention of people. It pulls people to the brand. If, let's say, you have not heard about the brand, but because of what they did, because of the trend checking that they did, the attention of the people starts to be pulled towards them. Awareness happens. And then after that, if the brand continuously do trend checkings like this, like IKEA, it's not just once or twice, but a lot of times. So you will see that consumers would develop interest, will start developing interest. And what happens if the brand continuously do so? If they're very smart, people like the brands like GSC, Golden Screen Skin Mask, every day on their social media on Facebook, they will post something that is very relevant to what we know of today, what we heard of today, the trends and so on. So how does this affect a brand? So this paper is basically inspired by the effectiveness of trendjacking in amplifying brand voice while creating curiosity and interest among consumers, and then further provides a critical view on the long-term effects of trendjacking on humanizing brands. So here, the keyword here is that I wanted to share here is on trendjacking, advertising, branding, communication, humanizing, emotional intelligence, emotions, and also AIDA model. All these are the very, very important keywords that I would like to highlight. So first of all, why is trendjacking matters? Why does trendjacking matters to brands? Is because I think one of the biggest reasons that personally I can relate to trendjacking is, and it jumps out to me, is because of humor and emotions. It really captures my attention. It made my day, it lightened up my mood, and so on. So, why humor and emotions? Now, author Daniel Kahneman, he wrote a book called Thinking Fast and Slow, and in his book he actually explained that human brain systems is divided into two brain systems. On the left hand side here, on the purple side, is system 1, and system on the right hand side here is system 2. So system 1 is where we most of the time we will use. This system 1 is where intuition, involuntary control, effortless innate skill, speed, and reflex. So it's very fast. We will use system 1, which, for example, if we are in a store and we want to buy an ice cream, we don't need to think like an hour or more to decide. We just take a minute or less than that to think. So that is very much based on our intuition, our experience about ice cream. Involuntary control, something that we are not even conscious, but then we made our decision that we want to go for a vanilla ice cream. So it's very effortless, and most of the time it connects to our emotions. On the right hand side, on the other hand, it is systems too, where there is a little bit more patience that we need to take, concentration in our thoughts, constructed thoughts. Analytics is where we spend more time to analyze certain things, and we take more effort and reason. So, for example, if I give you a maths question like 13 times 158, so we cannot use system 1 to think about it. We usually use system 2 to, you know, slow down, have patience, and calculate and analyze certain things, and making tougher decisions. Usually, we'll use system 2. So, in all, our daily life, we are more comfortable using system 1, and most of the time, you're using system 1, including when we are watching something very funny, a short video, let's say a 30 seconds video, but a very humorous video, funny video, which lightens up our day. It actually really connects to our system 1 because it's very comfortable. We enjoy it. So that is what Daniel Kahneman is saying about. So which brings to the conclusion is that emotion has a huge part to play, not really heavily on rational. So we can be rational, but we are more often instinctive and intuitive. Okay. So when we are dealing with people, so when brands are dealing with people, brands are actually dealing with people with emotions, with pride, and etc. So we cannot forget or put aside uh, our consumers' emotions. Is very, very important. However, so hence, this is more important as brands are forced to re-examine their relationships with consumers and their relevance in today's world. Because as we know, with emergence of tech and so on, the connection between human and technology are increasingly blurring. So tech, on the other hand, it really eases up our lifestyle. It's we love tech, or how convenient certain tech is. But however, there are certain times that it is increasingly blurring, and we even heard of that AI is able to develop advertisements for maybe a minute. You can develop how many advertisements or is it going to replace humans and so on. But we Hence, we need to re-examine our relationship with consumers, and we cannot forget the part that ideas, emotions, creativity is and humans are still there. We are still connecting with humans. So a lot of times, yeah, they said that AI is going to replace certain things, certain things, certain things, but we may forget that we as brands we need to also humanize brands. We need to focus also on the emotional intelligence. So how do we humanize brands? So first of all, tech is, as we know, tech has really been helping humans, and but tech is not the idea. Although we have like smartwatches and so on, but tech is the tool. It is not the idea. So basically, how do people come up with smartwatches is because of the idea, because of their concept, which touches the eases people's life and also touches their emotions and so on. So, firstly, tech is not the idea is the idea. So when I mean, in the advertising industry, they're also talking about, is it going to be tech or is it going to be creativity? Which one? Yeah, there's a lot of debate going on, but deep down in us, we know that is tech more powerful? Not really. It can be said so, but what we know is that they overlapped each other, and the two will need to work together. And of course, we cannot forget that human interaction should be the heart of everything, because we are dealing. Remember, just now I was saying we were dealing with consumers. They are who are humans. So human interaction is very very important. So this paper will also review the significance of how brands should engage with consumers using emotional intelligence. So this is one of the key things that my research will look into, connecting with emotional intelligence, and all about emotions. So we've gone through the pandemic for a year plus right now, and I'm sure that it's getting tough for people, no matter which country you are at, in Malaysia as well. So, what did the pandemic teach us about trendjacking? We are very much isolated, working from our home day and night, and we don't really connect with people. I just heard that some of our colleagues are just feeling the it's very overwhelming. So at times like this, it is even more, we have learned that no humans are alone. We cannot isolate ourselves forever. And because of that, a lot of us are just on our own. So when brands are connecting with us, when brands are not silent, during the pandemic, it is important for brands not to be silent. So when they are not silent, when they're connecting with consumers, just like a human connecting with a human. So that is what we saw from brands like GSC. Um, how they post up their postings on social media is, it's like a friend talking to you. It's like a friend who knows you, and who knows, maybe knows the trend and so on, and understands what you feel, and you understand the brand, and it sort of levels up who the brand is to you. It means not just awareness and but interest and liking towards the brand as well, right? So how does this actually affect the long term? Long term, if a brand uses this for long term, it's going to be quite impactful. Okay, so anyway, trendjacking is now or never. Trendjacking, it comes and go. A trend comes and go. A hashtag comes and go. So for a brand to be able to utilize trendjacking, or be yeah, trendjacking is now or never. They have the advertisers, marketeers, brand managers, social media execs, and so on. The team needs to really, of course, sit through a session where they identify what is trendjacking. They know, and of course, they prepare what to expect, and perhaps train their staff on knowing how do you actually um, you know, observe and also put it inside, and how do you connect with your brand. So it's now or never. If you miss the trend, it may not be relevant. So it's now or never. So hence, this paper is very much interested also to look into the future of trendjacking in advertising and branding, especially in Malaysia. And it will take some time to research on different brands, to observe different brands, and perhaps to also speak to the people from the industry. How do they utilize this trendjacking, and what kind of effects and what kind of fruits that was um, because of this, what did they achieve from it and in a long term. So this is what this paper is all about. Yeah, trendjacking in Malaysia, now every brand can tickle, a critical view on long-term trendjacking effects on humanizing brands. So this is some a research interest of mine. So thank you very much. This is the end of my presentation, and if you have any feedback, you can always email me. So thank you.